issue of children and the safety of children in the States.
Yes, a quick shout out to Kevin and Denise Coffey of Pontiac, Illinois. I met them recently at a Michigan library. Great folks there. Might be visiting that area later on in the year. They are new UK column viewers now. And so a quick shout out to them. Anyway, moving on, we have a related item here that's been transpiring in the United States involving one Ammon Bundy. Many people might be familiar with the Bundy family. Ammon is one of 7 sons of Cliven Bundy, a noted patriotic constitutionalist rancher who some might recall had a standoff with the Federal Bureau of the Interior and FBI and other federal agencies over cattle and grazing rights and land rights, property rights. It was a big major standoff in 2014 in Nevada. And there was a potential armed battle that never happened, fortunately. But a lot of people, some people at least, went to prison for a very long time. Others, including the Bundys, were eventually let out when the judge came to her senses, you might say. But here in this next shot, there's Ammon Bundy with the cowboy hat on in the middle of that shot, that photo. And what's going on here, and I'm happy to report that the child in question, Cyrus Anderson, who's now 26 months old, is free from the clutches of the state. And consulting a source I have here on another computer, you're looking at the parents there in this next photo. That's Levi and Marissa Anderson, no relation to me, by the way. And I'll read a little bit from some text I have here. Noted Idaho constitutional activist Ammon Bundy and associates and organizations with which he's affiliated, including Ammon for Governor 2022. He ran for Idaho governor. They were ordered by an Idaho jury to pay $52 million in damages after a Boise hospital won a recent defamation ruling against them. And this is St. Luke's Regional in Meridian, Idaho, near Boise. And they allege that Ammon and an associate, Diego Rodriguez, quote, orchestrated, a smear campaign against St. Luke's amid the protests that erupted after Diego Rodriguez's grandson, Cyrus Anderson, the son of those parents, was taken from his parents by Child Protective Services and police back in March of 2022 in order to be medically examined over a 6-day period at St. Luke's. The child was assumed to be malnourished and, quote, in imminent danger. And Ammon told me, we began protesting at the judge's house. It was completely corrupted, taking Cyrus from his parents. And we said, we're not going to let them do that. The good news is that Cyrus, thanks to a public uproar, thanks to the protests, is back with his parents, Levi and Marissa. And they have since moved to Florida to get out of that whole atmosphere there. And Ammon also told me for this report on UK column, we exposed them so badly they didn't have much of a choice but to dismiss this matter. Their plan was to put baby Cyrus in foster care. And all this happened, Ammon told me, according to him, even though an ambulance statement and a separate doctor's statement both noted that Cyrus was considered healthy. What it was is he had a temporary condition that he no longer has, where he would vomit if he consumed anything other than breast milk. So he had to have only breast milk. He lost a little bit of weight, it's true, but he was basically healthy. And so all's well that ends well. But just to touch on Ammon just a little bit more, he's having to deal with the legalities of whether this fine is going to stick. And if it does, of course, he doesn't have $52 million, nothing even close to that. What assets he may lose, what homes, what vehicles, what other assets, money, et cetera, that he may lose in this very bizarre court decision. But let's do a little bit in the meantime here. Let's go back to a little further back in the slides. What we have here is right here. This St. Luke's Children's Essence Clinic, and it gets into a lot of different matters. But meanwhile, as all this has been happening, St. Luke's is running a gender reassignment clinic inside. So they have a lot of interest in manipulating the lives of children. It says here, the team of specialists at St. Luke's Children's Essence Clinic is dedicated to improving health and experiences for children, adolescents, and young adults with the development of gender identity related surgery, reassignment surgery, hormone blocking treatments, things like that. Reading here, puberty blockers. These are medicines that block hormones that cause the bodily changes during puberty, and the surgery, different surgeries that can change the look and function of your body. They can help your body match with your gender identity. It also includes non-medical options like breast binding or padding, and, excuse the language, penis tucking or packing. And so this hospital that is suing Ammon Bundy for allegedly defaming them, which has millions of dollars and an influential law firm in its war chest, is meanwhile performing these sorts of procedures. Now, what we're looking at here is, I see you guys edited it down a little bit, but this is some photos that were already pixelated to tone down the detail a little. But these are photos of what gender reassignment surgery can look like, and just how profound and damaging to the body it can be. So viewers can take that as they will, but it's pretty disturbing photos to look at there. And then if we proceed a little further, I'll just mention that there's ads there, and you'll notice St. Luke's ad is there in this set of sponsors for the Pride Boise event, a huge tranny LGBTQ parade that's been happening there. I'm not sure how many years in a row, but St. Luke's is also involved in that. And then this next matter involves Boise Pride cancels the Drag Kids event after organizers received death threats. And I'll conclude here. So St. Luke's was also involved in helping sponsor Drag Kids. And what that involved was having children actually play the role of trannies and people in drag. So it's the full gamut of potential and real child abuse there in Boise. But they're trying to make Ammon out to be the bad guy, even though he apparently was instrumental in rescuing Cyrus from the clutches of the state. And I'll conclude by saying that Ammon suspected that if the child had been put into foster care, and there was video footage of them talking about specifically wanting to put the baby into foster care, had that happened, Ammon feared that the child might end up in some sort of child trafficking ring or something like that. He suspected some pretty dark dealings at the hospital. He just couldn't prove it. So it's quite a profound situation.
Okay, Mark, thank you for that. And it is very interesting, the similarities in techniques around children, whether it's UK or the USA. We'll come on to that more in future news programs. You're going to take us out here,